FBLA would also be a business club, and it means FBLA means Future Business Leaders of America, and that's like the um high school level. They also have a middle school level for my middle schoolers in here. The middle level is they give you less opportunities, but it's still as fun. Like if you're a seventh grader, wait, no, if you're like an eighth grader, you can go to the National Leadership Conference, I think, which I went to, and it was really, really fun. And of course, kind of challenging because you have to go to a bunch of workshops and stuff, but it's still really fun. Um, the college level for FBLA is called Pi Beta Lambda. So basically, it's like FBLA at a higher level, and the college level for DECA is DECA Collegiate. Um, if your school has both and you can only choose one, FBLA has more competitive events. So they have like graphic design, sports marketing, entrepreneurship and marketing, but DECA only has less events that are more focused on marketing and entrepreneurship, but their events go more in depth. But both help you with like vital communication and time management skills, which is really important in business. Um, and if you join, make sure you go to states because states is really fun. And if you go to nationals, that would be like really fun too. So yeah, if you want like more information beyond what I just gave you, just like email me or something. Um, and now let's begin the class. Okay. So welcome back to Entrepreneurship Lesson 2. I was wondering if everyone could like introduce themselves to everyone today. So like just your name and like, or it doesn't have to be today. It can be next week too if nobody's comfortable with that. Okay, next week it is. Today's goals is to learn what it takes to start a business. And first of all, there are no limits on who can become a great entrepreneur. You don't need a college degree, a bunch of money, or even business experience to start something. However, you do need a strong plan and the drive to see through it, and along with the other traits that we talked about last week. So finding the right name for your business really makes a big impact because the wrong name can put you 6 feet below the ground and have business hurdles. Quick tips for naming your setup are avoid hard to spell names. Don't pick a name that could be limiting because your business grows. Conduct through internet search on a proposed name and get a .com domain name because .net is very sketchy. And conduct a thorough trademark search. We'll be getting more into trademarks next week. Make sure you and your employees will be happy saying the name because let's say I make a thing called peanut butter snacks and like one of your employees is allergic to peanut butter, then they'll probably like leave because the name isn't great. Come up with 5 names you like and then test market the same name with prospective employees, partners, investors, and potential customers. The 5 name aspect is really important because you do need a lot of choices. A lot of businesses have like a bunch of names before they settled on one. And know that raising finance is really difficult if you're starting a business because it takes a lot of effort to convince investors and capitalists to invest in your company. So if any of you guys have watched Shark Tank, that's basically you have to convince them why you will make money in the future. So like, everyone knows Scrub Daddy, the Scrub Daddy guy that went to Shark Tank. Um, and now he's like in Bed Bath Beyond, Target, Walmart. He's in everything now. So, and don't waste your time trying to get them to sign a non-disclosure agreement so they won't steal your idea. They'll probably just back out of the deal because they'll just be like, no. Um, and efficiency is key when creating a product because your product has to be at least good to start out with. It can't be okay because if it's okay, it'll probably just keep going down later. It has to be differentiated in some meaningful and important way from your competitors' offerings, and everything else follows this principle. Um, don't dawdle on getting your product out to the market because customer feedback is one of the best ways to help improve it. So that basically means you have to test it out on a small batch of people before just launching it out into society. Focus on building a great product, but don't take forever to launch. So basically, you need to focus on efficiency, which is what I have here. Here, it's a really big deal when starting a business. Next, you definitely need to be a great salesperson because you have to sell your business technically to not only customers, but to potential investors and potential employees. You must practice, refine your pitch, and get feedback. You must be extroverted, or you can be introverted, but you have to be comfortable talking to people at least a little bit. You need to show confidence, and you must be positive. You must be trustworthy. You must follow up. You must ask for the sale. You must listen. So basically, practice and refining your pitch makes you seem more intelligent and knowing what you're talking about. Getting feedback helps you improve your business. Being extroverted and showing confidence and being positive and being trustworthy all makes your customer want to buy your product. Following up makes sure they don't forget about you. And asking for the sale and listening also helps you, much like the feedback. Next, you must build a great and cohesive website. So you have to devote time and effort into building a great website because prospective investors, customers, and partners, they're all going to look at your site and you want to make sure it's not like something you scrape together in 2 minutes and it has to be professional looking. So here are some tips. First of all is check out competitor sites. So for private schools, I know my old school, they just refined their website and it definitely looks much better now. And it looks much like this other school that I know some of my friends go to. So that's how they got their inspiration. And there's no shame in like getting inspiration from another site. Again, use a .com domain name and start out by sketching a template for your site. Come up with 5 or 6 sites you can point out to your web developer to convey what you like. And be sure this site is search engine optimized, so that will be more likely to show up on top. So, when you're on Google and you type up leggings and Lululemon comes up, that's basically what it is. Have high quality content. Make sure your photos aren't really bad quality, blurry, pixelated. That will be bad. And make sure your site can be used on phones. So, because not everyone has laptops. And make sure it loads quickly, because I know that sometimes I'm very impatient and I just like leave whenever it like doesn't load in like 5 seconds. Create an optimized user experience, basically what I said before. Keep it clean and simple, because if there's too much, visitors will just be like, this is bad. And make sure you have a terms of use agreement and privacy policy, and make navigation bars prominent. Oh, next, this is kind of like the salesperson thing we were talking about. So your elevator pitch is intended to be a concise, compelling introduction to your business. In parentheses, the amount of time it takes in an elevator. So if you've been in a hotel and you're on the 50th floor and like a person walks in and you're going to the first floor, that's like, you're going to the 20th floor, let's say. That's how much time you can have. You can modify your elevator pitch depending on whether you're pitching to prospective investors, customers, employees, or partners. Here are a few tips for coming up with a great elevator pitch. First of all, start out strong. Be positive and enthusiastic in your delivery, and remember that practice makes perfect. So back to the salesperson thing, you must show confidence and be positive and enthusiastic right here. Here we go. Keep it to 60 seconds at most. Avoid using industry jargon, so don't use big business words, because your customers probably won't understand if you're like, ooh, we're looking for a new demographic for our thing. And show them why your business is better than all the other ones. Pitch the problem you're solving and invite participation or interruption by the listener, because that shows that they're interested, and they can be leading the conversation then. Next, you'll want to have a great summary and pitch deck. So that is typically a 3 to 4 page summary of your company that can be presented to potential investors. A pitch deck is 15 to 20 page PowerPoint. I use Google Slides. Same thing, presentation that lays out more visually the business for prospective investors. You have to nail both documents, and you must clearly show your mission, the problem you're trying to solve, the experience and passion of the management team, the product and its key differentiating features, the big market opportunity you see, your technology or proprietary innovative edge, the competitive landscape and competitor shortcomings, believable projections showing a big upside in the business, and examples of early buzz or customer traction. All of these points show prospective investors why your business is better. Review other executive summaries and pitch decks to help you improve your own. As I said before, there's no shame in getting inspiration from other people's. If you have friends who are successful entrepreneurs, ask them if you can see theirs. There are a lot of samples online too, and check out a lot of pitch decks on Facebook, Airbnb, LinkedIn, BuzzFeed, YouTube, and WeWork. LinkedIn is a really good one. People put like their entire like resume, pitch deck, executive summaries up there. Next, you'll want to understand budgets and financial statements. Keeping on top of your expenses is hard, and you must learn how to thoroughly understand financial statements and budgeting. A lot of startups have failed because the entrepreneur wasn't able to adjust spending to avoid running out of cash. Make sure you have a detailed month-by-month budget, and this budget must be regularly reviewed in case something happens to change. Understanding your financial statements will also help you answer questions from the prospective investors. Here are some financial statement questions you can expect to get from investors. Here are a lot of questions they ask. First, what are the company's 3-year projections? So that's basically like how you think you'll do, or how based off the market. What are the key assumptions underlying your projections? How much equity and debt has the company raised? What is the capitalization structure? What future equity or debt financing will be necessary? How much of a stock option pool is being set aside for employees? When will the company get to profitability? This is very important because your investor might not invest if like you don't know the answer to this question, because then they'll just be like, oh, they don't know when they're going to profit. That says something. How much burn will occur until your company gets to profitability? What are your unit economics? What are the factors that limit faster growth? And what are the key metrics that the management team focuses on? This is a key point. Not a lot of people know. People just focus on like the good part, but you have to let your investors know both the good and bad news, because it's good practice to keep them updated on a monthly basis via email. But you'll have to let them know what's going bad, because when they invest and something's going bad, they will be very mad at you and you will have a bad reputation. So here are some general items you'll want to consider in your updates. First is summary of the progress of the company, summary of product development, team and recruiting update, recent press or PR, key metrics you're paying attention to, financials including monthly burn rate and current cash position, strategic issues you're facing, and requests for help by introduction to prospective investors, partners, and customers. Also, if anyone has any questions, just don't be scared to unmute yourselves. Next, you'll have to market your business like crazy. So I also have a marketing class that you can join if you want to learn more about marketing, but you must market your business like crazy, because that's how you get your business out. First, you'll have to learn the fundamentals of SEO, search engine optimization. So people are searching for your products and services will find you near the top of a search result. So you know how when we search like pillow, Target comes up or Walmart comes up. They always come up because they know search engine optimization. Next, you'll have to use social media to promote your business. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Pinterest isn't that great, but LinkedIn and Facebook are two really good ones. Engage in content marketing by writing guest articles for relevant websites, issue press releases for significant events, and keep on networking no matter what happens. I'm just gonna get some water really quickly. Okay. So if you're in like a partnership, make sure your co-founders know the deal. So you must agree early about the details of your relationship, because not doing so might cause big problems down the road. For example, the Zuckerberg-Winklevoss Facebook. So basically it's kind of like a prenup. But let me think of a better example that everyone can probably use. Okay, so let's say there's two people. Their names are Jack and Ella. So Jack and Ella want to start a business, but they didn't have like a contract. So then, no contract, people assume 50-50. But then Jack goes, I want 75%, you can have 25%, because I thought of this idea and I provided more money. And Ella goes, no, we didn't agree on that, and then that would be really bad. So here are the questions down below. Who gets what percentage? Is the percentage subject to vesting based on continued participation? What are roles and responsibilities? If one person leaves, does the company and other founder can buy back the founder's shares? How much time commitment to the business is expected of each founder? And what salaries are founders entitled to? Next, you must get the right business lawyer. because if you get a bad one, you will suck and you will lose a lot of stuff. So, founders do hire lawyers who are friends, relatives, or like friends of friends who offer discounts. But like when they do that, the founders will not get the advice of good and experienced lawyers who could help them avoid so many legal problems. Founders should consider interviewing several lawyers and law firms to determine if lawyers or law firms have expertise in some, if not all, of the following areas right here. It's not necessary that they have experience in all of these areas, but certain problems can be farmed out to different specialized lawyers or firms. But it's often best that you retain a firm that can handle some, if not all, of the areas of expertise listed above, so as to provide sorry, I can't speak today, between you and your legal counsel. Next is tax issues. So, I'll just give you a few seconds to read over a bunch of common tax issues. So I'll just go over the two that I think are the most important ones. So sales tax, because the company needs to collect sales tax on its products. And if they don't, legal problems, here we go. And a payroll tax. Payroll is like many cities and counties impose a payroll tax. So make sure you know what like your city or county is doing. Hiring, very important. Before hiring an employee, you must be sure that your employee has relevant experience for the job. So if you're looking for like a senior stockbroker, make sure it's not like their first time doing that. Have several people within the company do an interview to make sure there will be a cultural fit. So that's kind of like college. You must fit into the school culture. Be sure to check references and academic credentials because they could be lying. Make sure the employee signs a well-drafted employment letter allowing you to fire them for like a reason. Make sure the employee signs a confidentiality and inventions assignment agreement. And in conclusion, you must make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, because starting a business is no easy task, and if done lousily, you may lose a lot of money. And the homework for next week is choose which part of starting a business seems the most important to you and write at least 5 sentences about the subject. And I'll create like an assignment box. And if you have any questions, email me at cchenjoyy@gmail or direct message me on Instagram. I'll put the slideshow up on the Google Classroom too, so if you need that. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I'll just like end the class here.